I mean, wow, remember the sunset? That was just amazing. Beautiful island to the north of Napoli. We headed from here along towards the coast of Rome. Not much to see there, to be honest. Then on to Giglio, and then the island of Elba, prior to carrying on to the northern tip of Corsica before the big jump across to Antibes. Enjoy. Okay, Saturday the 2nd of October, just coming up 6 in the morning, and today got 55 miles to run to just off the coast, or at the coast of Fiumicino, Rome. So a little bit of a breeze up this morning, a few boulders around obviously when I put the anchor out last night, so we'll just see how the anchor comes up, and if we've got any problems I guess we'll just have to wait till daylight. But yeah, weather absolutely calm again today apparently for the sea state, and wind of 7 or 8 knots, so we're looking pretty good there. Anyway, I'll go and get the anchor up and get underway. Oh, I've got my cup of tea, how's that? And my life jacket on. Everybody be proud of me. Beautiful morning, light just starting to come up. Just an absolutely stunning island stayed at last night. Pretty special, pretty special. Off to the coast off Rome, 55 miles. Let's go. Don't know if you can see it that well in the distance there, but it's the town of Anzio. It's about 50 kilometres south of Rome. It's a fishing village, touristy type area, major jump off point for the islands that I stayed at last night, Pontilian Islands, and it was actually a major landing place for the Allies in the Second World War. And the battle during the Second World War, there were a whole lot of Americans holed up here for a number of weeks in caves in Pozzolo. And there's a movie made about it, 1968, starring Robert Mitchum. See if you can find that and watch it. I'm going to. And in 1925, the first underwater or submarine cable was connected between Italy and New York, and it started in Anzio. Anyway, Anzio, pretty important place in Italy, just south of Rome. Right, not quite sure what happened there, but effectively the autopilot just kicked out of track mode and said I'm going to heading select, and then it went to speed source and GPS position lost. So we'll just come back round onto what heading we want. Bit strange this. Imagine that in the middle of the night if you're trying to get some sleep on your own. Another good reason not for doing it on your own. The alarm was not particularly loud. So anyway, here we are coming back on to a heading that we're happy with. Get the rudder in the middle, and then let's just go engage autopilot. It's gone speed, source, select again. Now it's gone heading hold. So that's interesting. I reckon we're back on track, but somehow, I know, we got speed source lost again. And it's just, you know, it's going in and out. That is really, really weird. You notice up here, where we normally select route, that is not available. And it's just at every 20 seconds or so, it is going into heading hold and then speed source select. Very, very strange. Showing the heading out to the right, starboard rudder going in, it's captured heading hold again, starting to do the wild thing, and there was a message up there saying GPS lost. So it just seems like maybe, here we go, look, Why is the Garmin Autopilot doing that? Alright, so we're going to go to standby. So we'll take control of the boat. With starboard rudder, we'll come back onto course and we'll just drive by hand. Now, I should be able to go into here, into options. We've got to find these things. So I'll go back, go to settings, go to my vessel, no, systems, satellite positioning, GPS, searching for satellites. For some reason we've got no satellites. See there? So effectively we've lost the effective use of tracking because we've lost our satellites. This is exactly what happened on the way to Tunisia when we left Lampedusa a couple of months back. Alright, there are no satellites available at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to have to hand steer it. Let's see how long it takes to come back. It's just got searching for satellites. Nothing happened. Right, we are just going to steer the boat by hand and wait and see when the route information comes back in up here, which would be an indication. We've got no GPS heading there either, and we've got no ground speed there. Yep, definitely lost the satellites, and the GPS position is not changing. Alright, so I've got to pick a point out the front of the boat and I'm just going to head towards it, because effectively Garmin Navionics or Garmin plotters are useless. They're not working at the moment. Okay, here we go, acquiring satellites again. So that's weird. I went to the Garmin site and honestly it is frigging useless. All it says to do is, if you've transported your chart plotter a long distance without it being turned on, then turn it on and retry it again. Was this helpful? It said. Well, no, it was not. So in the end I just started digging into the options that are available in the chart plotter itself and came across system, satellite positioning, and then there was a little button there that said auto locate. So I thought, stuff it, we'll check that. So pressed auto locate, and then it basically started finding all these satellites again. There are 30 out there. I have GPS speed back. So I suspect if we now go back and go to the chart plotter, we have route again. So why don't we just go engage heading select, or heading hold I should say, it's still in a bloody aeroplane. We'll go 10 degrees to the left, and that's going to head us back towards our track. And once we get on the track we can go follow route, and we've got the route up there, so that problem should be resolved. Don't know why it happened, found a fix myself. Garmin support site, as usual, useless. Almost no options for anchoring just outside of Rome on the coastline, so found this marina that's under construction, tucked down here for the night. Okay, it's 5:30 in the morning and I'm going to be leaving just from the coastline outside of Rome up to the islands to the north, about 58 nautical miles away, so I wanted to get away nice and early. Quite a nice night, just a little bit of wind earlier on, and then it calmed down to quite a pleasant night time. Had a good sleep, wet on the deck in the morning, season's starting to change. Here she is, all ready to go. I'm going to take her out from the fly bridge. So first thing to do is obviously get the anchor up and we'll be away. You can just see on the plotter there
They built the breakwater off to the left of where I am, and then off to the right they've already marked out in grey where the marina is going to be. So it's all completely open in there, but nice little spot to stay. It's just so cool leaving early in the morning. I mean, the sunrises, not quite as good as the sunsets, but close.
And it's 11:23 in the morning on the 4th of November. Full day 3 away on my own now. 58 miles was the total distance to go today, got 26 to go, and we're off to the Isola di Giannutri, which is by all accounts an absolutely beautiful little island just off the coast of Italy. So 2 options. One was to anchor on the southern side, one on the northern side. Checked out Navally, and Navally reckons 74% good conditions there, 89 though on the northern side. And tomorrow I'm heading further north towards Corsica. I'm going right up round the top tip here, so I figure might as well get to the northern side today. Weather conditions, marvellous again, just marvellous. A little bit choppy coming out of the port just beside Rome. The wind just 4 knots, so almost no wind at all, and just a slight swell coming through from the starboard side. And the next 2 days look to be magic as well, so I shall keep making progress while I can. Tonight I'm going to treat myself to a shower, having prawns for dinner again, and tomorrow and the next day are quite short days, so I might make myself bangers and mash, sausage and potatoes for tomorrow night. Anyway, it's going well. Starting to probably crave a little bit of company. I mean, it's only day 3, so I haven't gotten used to it on my own totally. It'd be nice just to have a chat with someone. I've been doing a bit on Facebook obviously, but yeah, it'd be nice to see someone in the real flesh. I have not spoken to a third party in 3.5 days. And for lunch, just made myself up a pan of minestrone soup that I got in Italy. Gonna have some dry biscuits with it. Made it on the stove while I jumped backwards and forwards to the pilot house, had the guards up so that the pot couldn't slide around. Not that we're moving around much, but anyway, had a wee taste, bit average I think, but anyway, better than nothing. So you can see here coming up to Giannutri Island that we have this nature reserve right around the island, and that's part of a nature reserve that's in this entire area, part of Tuscany, and it's broken into 2 zones. So see these 2 lines here and the 2 lines there, that's the only lines you're allowed to enter into the bays via. So I'll just zoom in a bit. You can see zone 1 here. Zoom in a bit more, and here is, now I've got to find it now, it was there before. Where is zone 2? Zone 1 is where the little marks are inside that dotted line there, and effectively zone 2 is outside of it, but you are still within this nature reserve area there. Zone 1, completely restricted entry, you cannot go in there. Zone 2, out here, we can. And zone 2 actually goes right out, limit of the nature reserve, there it is there. So zone 2 is all around there, we can go through there and there's limited fishing, but this area right in here we can't. So that's effectively meant if we were going to be on the southern side of the island we would have come in through here, but because we're going to be on the northern side we have to go right around, staying away from the zone 1 areas and come into the bay up here, Cala Maestra. That's where we're stopping tonight, Cala Maestra. Stop panning, we've got 1.82 miles to go. and be there at 4 in the afternoon. Here's the northern side of the island.
Okay, so I've made the decision I wanted to go into the northern side of the island, probably because it was closest to moving on the next day. But on the southern side, much bigger bay, and there was actually a boat there already. For the first time coming into this bay, I started to feel a little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive, and maybe just a tinsy bit out of my depth. Here I was in a bay completely on my own, absolutely nobody around, and when I started looking over the bow, all I could see was rocks. Here I am, only 1 hour before the sun goes down, so you've also got that potential of moving into the darkness, which is a little bit nerve-wracking as well. So I edged into the bay, I had a good look around, just rock after rock. The minute I nudged back out into the bay, I'm suddenly into 15 metres of water, so I've got to put at least 60 metres of chain out, which put my backside of the boat back tight in this bay, which left me a little bit nervous as well. So, you know, I can see the darkness coming. I'm just feeling a little bit apprehensive. I feel like I've made a mistake. I feel like I should have been around the other side of the island where there's another boat close by, a much more big and wide open bay. This bay looks straight out into the Mediterranean, so if the weather changes over the night, then there's issues there as well. So was I confident? No, I wasn't, but it was too late to go around to the other side. So anyway, in the end, I decided I didn't want to be in close. I've checked the weather. The weather forecast was good. It was supposed to be still all night, so I just pushed my nose out further into the bay, a little bit more exposed, a little bit more open, but then I let the chain out. There's the anchor just dropping off the edge now. Dropped it down, managed to get it set, but I have to confess, for the rest of the night and until I pulled up the anchor in the morning, I was always worried that I'd actually managed to get myself stuck on the rocks. But look, an absolute beautiful night. Here goes the drone, and what a gorgeous island.
Well, good morning, 4th of November, 7:40 in the morning. Spent the night at Giglio, little island off the coast of Tuscany, and today a little bit of a shorter day. I'm just heading up to the island of Elba, and once I've got to the island of Elba, it's just a short hop then across to Corsica, and we're going to go to Bastia. So I actually want to go up to this end of the island, but for some reason the charts haven't downloaded there, which is a bit weird, so I'll work on that during the day. I just don't think I've panned on that area. Anyway, 43 miles to go. Again, great forecast, so I'm making hay while the sun shines and gonna head off and get on my way. Probably only just see it out there, but we're just on the port side of the boat. We're passing about halfway now to Elba. It's the island of Montecristo, and pretty famous island in the whole Mediterranean. I mean, it's had a number of owners, like a lot of the land around here, the Spanish, French, obviously the Italians, but its history goes right back in a written form to Roman times, and there is a building well up on near the top a monastery that was built in about 400 AD. It's now a nature reserve. Only 1,000 people are allowed to visit per year. If you want to go there in your private boat, it costs €500. You're not allowed to stay overnight. You can't swim or fish or surf within 1 kilometre of the shoreline. And it's a home to a few 1,000-year-old oak trees. And they got some endemic species there. It was who the heck was it? It was taken over by forgotten now. Somebody from France anyway, and they planted a tree that was not native to it, and it effectively totally infested the island. And then in about the 1980s, a ton of black rats appeared on the island, and it was proven that these basically dated back to Roman times. I don't know how the heck you prove that, but still, anyway, because of the isolation of the island, they aerial dropped it with poison, and they are slowly getting rid of the infestation of that particular tree. It's the eucalyptus, I think, actually. Anyway, yeah, pretty interesting little island, just passing by on the port side. So we're just coming into Capo di Campo. It's the town on the island of Elba, just off the Tuscan coast. And I mean, just look at it. Look at the sea state. Gorgeous island. I mean, it's been an amazing period of calm weather that we've enjoyed almost all the way from Tunisia. We came back from New Zealand on the 8th of October, and it's now the beginning of November, and we've really had no seas more than a metre. A little bit of wind. We had a rain shower up in Capri, or a bit of rain up in Capri. It was quite hard for a short period of time, but this autumn weather over here has just been stunning. And we're coming in here, or I'm coming in here. I'm going to stop the night, and then tomorrow morning I'm heading over to Corsica. So I've checked out all the requirements for leaving Italy and arriving in France, and from what I can gather, I don't have to do anything other than drop off my constituo, which is the piece of paper we got in Trapani, and once I've done that, my job's done. In fact, I probably didn't even have to do that either, because I'm never coming back to Italy in the boat. Anyway, I will. And then tomorrow I enter France, and you just carry on regardless. There are no fees. Very, very friendly to boaters is France. They've got amazing sailing history. They just love boating and being on the water, so they encourage it and support it. But yeah, what a gorgeous island this is. And I'm going to spend the night here. Harbour Master de Campo, this is Motor Yacht Awanui NZ, buongiorno.
Alright, so let's go through this process of anchoring then. So you find yourself in a place, and then you put your nose or the bow of the boat into the wind, if there is any wind, none here today, and it's a pretty wide open bay. But basically get yourself to 0 speed, and here I am putting the range circle around where I drop the anchor. So now I've just pinpointed where I drop the anchor, and on the left hand side there with my hand I'm just dropping the anchor over the edge. It's about 4 meters of water, so pretty easy to work out when it's on the sea floor. And then you just come into reverse idle, speed up to about a knot and a half, and then come back to 25 meters. At that point you can allow the chain to come tight. I stay in reverse idle. If the ground speed is 0, we are set. Now at that point, it's up to the bow of the boat. We put the snubber over, drop that down slightly below the waterline. It relieves all the pressure off the windlass and also reduces the angle between where the chain is and the seafloor is.
Just where he was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merge and change, but your face remains the same. Swallows will be here by dawn. When we're finally sober, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt. A significant life, just what it was needed, clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice dead, and in the eyes of time, nobody's losing.
Alright, so today is Tuesday the 5th of November, election day in the States, so it's going to be pretty amazing. Fireworks day. And I am here in Marina di Campo and I had a fantastic night's sleep. Didn't get a good night's sleep the night before, but last night had about 10 or 11 hours sleep, so absolutely brilliant, because 1 o'clock tonight I head off for Antibes, and that's going to be a 14-hour night from about 1 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, just popping into Marina di Campo on the island of Elba, just off the Tuscany coast, and here I'm going to drop off my constituo to the harbour master, and I'm going to just get a few provisions and fingers crossed get myself a cup of coffee. Anyway, gorgeous morning here. Just check that out. Beautiful little village. Just a shame it's not like Greece where you can dock on the quayside for, 10, 15, 20 euros, whatever, 100 euros. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they don't want us here. And notice, no boats on the dock, only local fishing boats. Anyway, away we go. Well, that was a pretty amazing coffee shop. I mean, it was just crowded. All the early morning workers were in there having their espresso, and two of these guys, and they're working on an industrial site because it's written all over their work gear. They have an espresso, and I'm just going around in circles here because it's getting noisy. They asked for a sambuca in each one. So here these guys are having a sambuca mixed in with their espresso before they go to work. Only in Italy, only in Italy. Anyway, off to the supermarket. Apparently, the supermarket is 200 metres along the beachfront on the left. There's Amanui NZ out there. Only boat out in the bay last night and it was flat calm, just beautiful. About 3 metres of water, so 25 metres of chain out. It's great, just great. And I suspect it's embedded in sand like that. Perfect spot to anchor. Alright, it's the shopping done. 31 euros. Got me some milk, a bottle of wine, some chippies, carrots, potatoes, tomatoes. Anyway, all the basics. These are great little villages you pop into. You just observe everybody going about their daily business, just getting on with life, and I pass through. Anyway, off to the harbour master. He's around here somewhere, and I'll just leave, if it comes to it, my constituo, and then I can depart. Right, that's the toilet. It's not the harbour master. Got an eye here for information. Yachting Club Campo. This is the Marina. Basically, I think that is the harbour master. I mean, some people say you don't even need a constituo these days. At Trapani, they got us to fill it out, but when we came into Brindisi, they didn't want to know. So, yeah, don't know. I'll leave it here, and then at least I've done my best, eh? And I better get underway. Ha! It's cool. Very, very cool. Well, there you go. That's me officially leaving Italy. Okie dokie. I think I left it at the wrong place. So this is the Marina where I left it. But then when you read on Navally, sometimes it says they can deal with it. But I just, walking back to the tender, found a place with flags, and it says Official Transportation or something or other. And it's got all the flags outside, so I've got a funny feeling that that is the harbour master's office. So I'll go back and put it there. Well, there it is, hanging out of the mailbox, because the mailbox doesn't look like it's been used much. And it's the Delegazione di Spiaggia Marina di Campo. And all the flags up there, so here we go. Ministero della Infrastrutture e dei Trasporti, Delegazione di Spiaggia di Marina di Campo. Okay, hopefully that's it, eh? Right, back to the boat. And we're off. There you go, bow just touched. And that starts it swinging that way, so basically I've got to be ready to grab this side when it comes up to the rail. But anyway, it's lovely and calm today. Got to be pretty careful though. Right, here she comes. Got to be careful of the crane against the rail, if you remember. Bit of an expletive from Fiona when she touched it with the crane right at the beginning, but these things happen. And then we lift it up until obviously it's clear of the rail. I've got the engine up at the back. Just check underneath it, we're going to clear that. And it's quite good if the tender touches the crane, because then it just gives it a little bit of stability as you come around the corner. Now you use one thing at a time on this. pretty slow. I mean, it's a powerful motor, can lift 500 kgs, but it is a little bit slow. But anyway, beautiful day today, so no issues. Just come around, got to clear the flag at the back. Has been suggested I take that out each time, but it's just another thing to do. So you just got to be careful, swing it round. Okay, there she goes. Then you start bringing it down as a whole unit until it's over. Just come around a bit more clockwise, anti-clockwise there. There we go. Righto. Now the tricky thing is getting it right over the centre of the chocks and then just dropping it down so that it goes nicely into the cradle. Okay, a bit steady there. And it's like right in the middle. Maybe not. Right, that's good. Alright, then we just go up the front, check that it's in the middle, which it always seems to be. And down here, it's all set to go. Up on the winch, almost fully up, don't go quite up though because you've got to put it around the rail. In with the extension here, just one thing at a time, see how slow it goes. And tend to get about 10 goes out of this before we have to change the battery. It's rechargeable and it's in behind the saloon that it charges. Okay, there we go, fully in. And we go clockwise. I mean, when you're watching it, it just goes slower and slower. It feels like anyway. This thing's pretty heavy, so you've got to be careful of that. And you can't go a full revolution because that'll twist all the hydraulic lines. So just come around to here and then luff down with the crane itself. And as it goes past the rail cable at the back here, I just hook that over. Okay, down she goes, that's all done. Battery off. Get the bung out. And then catch the ratchets. 3 of those. Still only 1 at the front. There's supposed to be 2. Oh, actually there's not supposed to be 2. It's certified for only 3 to do it, but I've got the other thing there. It's just something I haven't got round to doing yet. So it's a high pylon tender. So ideally you want to try and keep it out of the sun as much as possible to give it the longevity you want. Okay, there we are, we're all attached. So it won't be long now and I'll probably start putting the cover on, but not too much light at the moment. Alright, got to remember to take that down. Away we go. We can get started up and underway. Okay, so I've done my pre-start checklist, got the engines running, and I've taken the snubber off the anchor. Check down the back that the wet exhaust is going, that's probably the most critical thing. And check where we are on our drag circle, so we're ever so slightly to one side. So we're just going to go forward just a wee bit and then we'll start bringing in the anchor. So anchor coming in now. On our way at 8:40, 43 miles to run, so we'll go a little bit quicker today. So the big thing is try not to drag on the anchor chain. So by just moving forward very slowly, we're doing 0.73 knots, probably a little bit quick. I'll just bring that back a bit. We should end up nicely overhead where the anchor actually is. There we are, she's embedded in the bottom. You just feel it grate a little bit as it tries to drag it out of the sand. And then it starts boggling like that at the front once the anchor's off the bottom and the weight is just hanging on the chain. So it won't be far from being up now. Only thing is I can't actually have a look and see when it's close because I generally like to slow down when it's close. So stop. Yeah, it's pretty close now. Here we go. Here she is. Alright, there we go. And just check where the steering is there. It's slightly port, that's okay. So we're just going to forward idle on both. Quite a few buoys out here. There were buoys everywhere actually, a whole lot behind me. So it's just good to drop the chain well away from those, because I've been caught round buoys of the chain before. If you remember back in Santorini, that was an absolute pain. Took about half an hour, and me being in the water. I don't want to be in the water at the moment because it's only about 20 degrees. Anyway, anchor drag alarm goes off because we've moved outside the circle. I had it set to 25 metres, so we'll turn that off, go back to nav, and goodbye Campo, Marina de Campo in Elba Island. Very, very nice place. Great coffee this morning. Just a neat little fishing village. Apparently in the tourist time it's really busy, so I think I got it at the best time to be there. Temperature at the moment 117 degrees on both engines, Fahrenheit obviously. So I just need to get up to about 140 before come out of forward idle. And forward idle's just 780 RPM. So idle 750, and engaging in idle forward really doesn't change the RPM much at all. And that gets us on about 4.2 knots. I mean, it's unbelievable. 4.2 knots, and we're burning about 2.5 litres. Right, at the moment, at this speed, it's got us getting there at 8 tonight. Obviously, I want to get there about 4 hours earlier than that. It's too late. Oh, it's coming down as we come closer to the track. Alright, so we'll go into, let's go into follow track and see what it does. Or follow route, there you go. See, now that's done it beautifully, because in the past, if you were even just a little bit to the right of the track, it would do a 90-degree turn to the left and go and try and grab it. Now, it just says, hey, where's the track? Hey, it's just ahead of me. I don't need to do that, and it just turns beautifully onto the track. So, yeah, here we are, 43 miles to run. I checked the weather last night. The weather's still going to be absolutely beautiful for the next 24 to 36 hours. So I'm going to make the jump to Antibes at 1 o'clock tonight. So we'll get into the northern tip of Corsica. No entry requirements there, of course, because it's still EU. So I'm heading up here. Look, you probably can't see it that well, but anyway, that's the northern tip of Corsica, and then Antibes is on the other side. So if I leave at 1 o'clock in the morning, I should get to Antibes about 3 o'clock tomorrow. So I'm going to go to bed about 7. That'll give me 6 hours sleep, and then I reckon I can get through the night pretty good on that. And then I might just have the odd cat nap with an alarm set tomorrow on the way across to Antibes, because after that the sea state gets up to about 1.4 metres, and the wind up to about 20 knots, so I don't want that. Anyway, that's the plan. We'll check it all again later. I've got a couple of drop-off points on the way to the top of Corsica if for any reason I check the weather today and I'm not happy to be up at the top of the Cape. So 133 degrees, be 140 soon, and we can just increase the power a little bit. And the system is set not to go below 10 metres, so it quite often does a bit of a circuitous route to get out of a harbour. Alright, we're on our way. So there's Corsica out there. Shame I haven't got more time to spend in Corsica. I just feel I've got to keep going. But look at it. I mean, it's just absolutely perfect out here for motoring along. Really nice smooth day. Got the fishing line out, see what we get. There's quite a bit of fish activity on the sonar. And what have I got? I've got 15 miles to run, so just under 3 hours. Beautiful, just looks beautiful, really does. Okay, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, getting ready to head off to Antibes, and I had a reasonable sleep, not the best. It's always a little bit difficult to sleep when you know you got to wake up a few hours later, but anyway, get ready to get on our way. First things, get the snubber off. Right, there's the track from overnight for the boat. Anchor obviously set just up here, so we're going to have to move forward a little bit to clear that out. We've got 104 miles to run, and get ready, the map's going to do its big swing thing. Here we are, leaving Baccaggio on the northern tip of Corsica, and we're going to head across to Antibes, just to the southwest of Monaco and southwest of Nice. Should be a good trip. I've got my cup of tea ready to go, and we will just edge forward a little bit and start bringing the anchor in, and we'll head around to the port and pick up the track. There we are there. Let's nudge forward a little bit. Here we go, and we can start bringing the anchor in. Bringing the anchor in, we've got the nav lights on, and ready to go.